Hi, I like Skylanders. How about you? Now, thank you for Ignite the Fire for having me here, and let's move on with the story time. So I just realized I said story time, my memory. Okay, so this was a few weeks after Superchargers release. Somehow had these. Recently bought the starter pack. And we went to the mall. I saw Sea Shadow there, and I decided to buy it. But there was also something else there. I also brought Giants. I had Giants. Okay. Now, there was something else there too. And it was these two bad boys. It was 1 or 2 weeks after Superchargers released, and they hadn't cleared out everything. So these two bad boys were still there. I had the chance to get them, but I did not, and I chose the Sea Shadow over them because I didn't have Trap Team. Now, that's my story time. Bye-bye.
Hi, I like Skylanders, or at least that's the channel name of the person who kicked off this multi-channel collab would have to call himself by. And you know what, I too like Skylanders, and if you can relate, then you're in the right place. So today, we are concluding the Skylanders Memories trilogy with even more SkyTubers that unfortunately weren't able to feature in the first 2 parts, those parts of which are linked in the description below alongside all of the channels featured here. You should definitely check everyone out because they make some incredible Skylanders content that really does go underappreciated day in, day out. So all of that being said, I'm actually going to, before we move on, give my own memory to kind of compensate for the fact that the outro is going to be done a little differently this time, because I just made a brand new outro with my green screen and everything. So naturally, since the outro is being changed up, I'm going to deliver a memory of my own before we get into more SkyTubers. So with me, I have a very interesting story behind Trap Team, more specifically its launch, because I got home after school and had very limited time to get from home, take the bus into town and get to game before it closed on that Friday evening. We managed to do so, and I went to game, seeing obviously just lines upon lines of Trap Team figurines and all that. It was a glorious sight to behold, and I was very excited for Skylanders Trap Team. The problem here is that my starter pack was for the PlayStation 3, which became a problem over time, but we'll get into that later. For now, I want to talk about the fact that because I was spending so much money on Skylanders all at once, I had the opportunity to enter into the game Skylanders Club. Now, this club you could only get into if you spent over £60 on Skylanders at once. But the benefit was that the more figurines you bought, the more free characters you got. So through this club, I got like a free quick draw rattle shake, I got some free senseis later down the line for Imaginators, so it definitely paid for itself because this was completely free to join as long as you spent that initial £60, mind you. But the problem here is that I couldn't actually sign up for the club without a guardian over the age of 18, so I was unable, as you could say, to get Skylanders Trap Team on launch. I had to wait an entire 12 hours time to wait for the next morning when my parents personally took me down to games so they could sign me up for that club. And so from there I not only got the free Skylanders by purchasing Skylanders constantly, but I also got occasional promotional material such as a free Skylanders comic book and all sorts. Anyways, for PlayStation 3, so we got Trap Team for PlayStation 3 because when I went to go pre-order Trap Team, my dad had literally just bought one off of eBay. Never buy consoles off eBay, this is why. He paid £80 for it, but it became faulty. I managed to get free Trap Team once, but every single time I tried to play the game after that, the PlayStation 3 would just either crash the game or it would power itself off, and so I would never really get into it, and naturally the game was unplayable because the console I bought it on didn't work. Like I say, it was faulty and it was rather tragic because I no longer had any way of playing Skylanders Trap Team. That is until a cousin of mine got Skylanders Trap Team for the Wii. As scuffed as that is, what was great about the Wii is that inside the game box you got a little code to download the entire game on the Wii U for free. I also got a Wii U that Christmas, So I used that code on the Nintendo eShop. It took like 24 hours for the game to download, but 24 hours later, I clicked on that game icon on my Wii menu for the Wii U, and to my surprise, it was the entire game. It wasn't a demo, it wasn't like just the first levels, the entire game was downloaded on my system for free, and I could use the portal from a PlayStation 3 starter pack, no problem. So all of a sudden I finally had access to play Skylanders Trap Team all over again, and I was pumped. I played through that entire game in one sitting, all 18 chapters, with one massive grin on my face. That same day I also bought Gorilla Driller from CEX, so naturally I was able to not only play as Gorilla Driller, but play as him on Skylanders Trap Team for the Wii U after having not played it for so long because my PlayStation 3 decided to die on me after having purchased in Trap Team, mind you. And all of this penultimately led to Skylanders Trap Team becoming my favourite game, which is why I suppose this memory is so close to my heart. Plus, a free quick draw rattle shake is a win for basically anyone, right?
Hello everyone, my name is Kamizin, and thank you to Ignite Fire for welcoming me to your channel. I started playing the Skylanders games a little more than a year ago, but I have built up quite a repertoire of memories regardless. If I were to pick one specific memory that's very close to my heart, it would have to be the reception I got for my first ever Skylanders YouTube video. I had roughly 100 subscribers back then, no proper recording equipment aside from my capture card, and I just wanted to show off my latest purchase to my audience. Instead, the video got shared on Reddit, got more than 8,000 views and kicked off my channel in an entirely new direction. Thinking about this really makes me understand what the community can do to the popularity of the game, but also for individual people. Me, in this case. If it wasn't for this particular upload and the support I got from you guys, I'm not actually sure I would still be doing this. That's why this is my most important Skylanders memory. A reminder that I am part of maybe the best gaming community out there.
Alright, best Skylander memory. This is easy for me because this is a good one, man. I was playing, Skylanders Giants. I was trigger happy, yeah. And that one level where the machine ghost is about to die, he says, "I'm not going to make it, yeah." Bro, my trigger happy just started laughing as soon as he said that, and bro, I was dying, man. That was so funny, like, honestly. And that is why that is my favorite Skylander memory, because, like, bro, I don't think that would have happened if I didn't play as trigger happy in that one level, and thankfully I did, because, like, trigger happy is a legend. So yeah.
The first Skylander I ever gotten was Hothead while I was in a trip to my local TK Maxx. But I didn't have a console at the time, so my first Skylanders game was Skylanders Lost Islands for the iOS. But then I went to my cousin's house and I played Skylanders Swap Force for the first time. And in turn, the first Skylander I actually ever played was Drill Sergeant. Back when the Skylanders website was active, I used to have fun looking at all the Skylanders trailers and playing all the mini-games. And it was also the place where I watched the Skylanders Trap Team teaser trailer for the first time and instantly loving the concept. Often when I go on holidays, I often go to Denmark, so my main source of buying Skylanders there would be Fella BR and GameStop, both stores of which are sadly closed. Zulu and the Live Snake Trap are the only Skylanders items I ever lost. My main source for Skylanders news would be via the Skylander Boy and Girl, back when everything was simple. And finally, in the announcement of the light and dark element, I remember that me and my mum tried bidding for a light trap, and we won. I had to pay, of course, but it was well worth it. Now enough about me, onwards to the next SkyTuber.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Spenny. First of all, thanks Ignite for allowing me to be on the channel to present my Skylanders memory. And mine is, I don't know if any of you guys have experienced the same sort of thing with Skylanders, but when it first came out, I was in grade school, and it was very popular. I remember my birthday was right around when it came out, so all my friends that were over for my birthday, that's when I got the game, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's so cool." I'm pretty sure I influenced literally every single one of my friends to get the game, and when they did, we would all get different figures and we would come to school with them, and then we would trade them and level them up for each other and then do a little exchange. And it was pretty awesome. It was such a cool memory to have with the whole game, because like the Toys to Life is cool, but sharing that memory with other people is really awesome, and I think that's why Skylanders was so great in my childhood.
Hey everybody, Victor of Saving Skylands here, and Ignite the Fire wants to know my favorite Skylander memories. And I'm sure a lot of people are gonna say like things from their childhood and stuff like that, but for me, it's not actually. It's actually pretty recent, and there's actually kind of two that tie into each other. Creating my YouTube has been the best experience ever, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna go any more in depth because it's just been amazing. But my number one by far has been experiencing all of the games and playing through all the games again with Elizabeth, who is my girlfriend, and we've made tons of content together, and that has literally just been a dream come true to be able to do that and literally just relive my childhood again and have her also re-experience everything because she had played it as a kid, so the kids came out in both of us, and that has been the best thing.
Hey guys, it is me, Jawbreaking. I never actually thought I'd be on Ignite's videos, but here we are. Anyway, he asked us a little bit ago what our favorite Skylander memory is for Skylanders Memory 3. Now, I watched the first two Skylander memories and thought, what is mine? And so I realized what it was. When Super Treasures first came out, I got it for Christmas with my brother, and we played that game so badly. It was so much fun. And that's why it's my favorite to this day. I do remember being kind of disappointed with because the traps didn't do what they used to do in Trap Team because I was young and stupid. But anyway, yeah, I remember having so much fun playing as Spitfire, Super Shot Stealth Elf, playing as my Trap Masters that I got a little bit ago for Christmas too. And yeah, we had a great time just racing around and defeating chaos. And yeah, that's my Skylanders memory. Bye.
Hey there, Ignite the Fire, it's the Crusher of Skylands, and I'm here to tell you about my favourite Skylanders memory. Now, this is one that stuck with me for the past few years I've been playing Skylanders, and it's the Skylanders game crossovers. No, not Crash Bandicoot crossovers, I mean the ones that appeared once or twice in Skylanders Giants, SSO, whatever, and then appeared again. One in particular I love is in Auto Gyro Adventure. That battleship we use to get into Arcus is one of my most favourite levels, but to see it return in a Skylanders Trap Team level, of course it's technically a special level of taking out the Sky Pirates. It is one of my most favourite memories to be able to see a throwback like that there, as well as Flynn's ship from Swap Force, the robot from Giants, all that stuff in that specific level, coming back from Giants to Trap Team. It's just really nice to see, and I'm so glad that it came back again. Thank you for having me on Ignite. I'm the Crusher of Skylands, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of this video that Ignite's put together. Goodbye, everyone.
What's up, guys? Program18 here on Ignite the Fire channel, and I want to thank Ignite the Fire for having me on here for this Skylanders memory. So I will be explaining what my favorite Skylanders memory is, and definitely my favorite Skylanders memory is getting Skylanders Trap Team for the first time. And yes, this is actually my original copy of Skylanders Trap Team. As you can see, it's been messed up right here, but the game still works. And the reason why this is my favorite Skylanders memory is mainly because nostalgia reasons, and when I first saw Trap Team, I wanted to get this game. So I went to Toys R Us, I got the PS3 Star Pack, and I went home, played the game, and what can I say, it was just great. And you know, and also, this is my favorite Skylanders game of all time, mainly because, like I said, nostalgia reasons. And I do have this game for the PS4 now, luckily, as this is a bit pricey now. I'll still keep this, even though I have it for the PS4, like I said. I'll still keep this, you know, because, you know, this was my original copy, so I will keep it. So yeah, that is my favorite Skylanders memory, mainly for nostalgia reasons, and it was the first Skylanders game I ever got. Anyway, I want to thank Ignite the Fire for having me on the Skylanders memory. Anyway, peace.
You know, since you're watching this video on an almost entirely gaming-oriented channel, I'd assume that video games are fairly important to you. And you know, they're important to me too. And I'd say about 2/5 of all my video game memories ever have to come from one little franchise called Skylanders. And for this collab, I was asked to just pick one, my favorite memory, to talk about. And I mean, I could just choose the first time I defeated Chaos or something like that, but my favorite Skylanders memory has to be my Stink Bomb solo run live stream on Skylanders Swap Force. I kinda just loved that stream. It was the first time I had like more than one viewer on the stream, and it really just felt great to share something with the community. It was a great way to spend 6 hours, and it really gave me motivation to continue. And it also was kind of cool that it was my first Skylanders game, and it was also like my first actual live stream. Anyway, you know, that's why I love that memory of Skylanders.
Greetings, fellow Ultimasters, I'm Crash Rails, and it's once again time to crash count with my favorite Skylander memory. Now, I can easily talk about the time I found Doomstone, but I think we gotta go with the time I got Dark Wildfire and Legendary Jawbreaker. So if you guys don't know, way back in the day, my local EB Games/GameStop, they used to sell used Skylanders. And one day I went there, before I went to work, I was shopping around, I noticed Dark Wildfire there for, I think, $6. And I said, don't really need it, not really collecting the variants. Kind of cool though, whatever. Ignored it. Went to work that day, while I was there thinking, man, I really should have got Dark Wildfire. Then the next day I go back and he was gone. 2 years later, I'm on Facebook Marketplace, and I noticed someone selling Skylanders, and in that pile was Dark Wildfire and Legendary Jawbreaker. And I went, oh my gosh. So I messaged him saying, hey, are you willing to sell any of those Skylanders individually? See, I can't pronounce it, I'm so excited. Can you willing to sell any of those individually? And she said, which ones? And I said, well, this one, I circled it. And I said, oh, and I also like this one too, with Legendary Jawbreaker. She said, sure. I walked down to my local Tim Hortons to meet up with her. She handed me the Skylanders. I walked up the road, and I was extremely excited because it took 2 years to find this Skylander, and it coined a phrase for me, something that I've always said. If you see something in your life, and you have the option to buy it, so if you have enough money, or if you're trading towards it or something like that, get it, because you will never see it again. And that's exactly what happened to me with everything. No matter what I see now. The other day, I was at Free Lunchbox, buying just a random thing, and I looked over at the fridge and noticed a drink that had Magikarp on it. And if you guys don't know, Magikarp evolves into my favorite Pokemon. So I knew if I didn't buy it at that time, I'd never see it again. So that's what it was. It took me 2 years to find Dark Wildfire, and he was worth every single penny. Now, besides from my Swap Force when I finally got Doomstone, Dark Wildfire is probably one of my favorite memories. Or the time that I said Skylanders or I was going to ruin my childhood or continue my childhood. Kind of ruined it in a way.
Greetings, Portal Masters. My name is Jack, and thank you, Ignite, for having me on the channel. I'm happy to be here. So, this video is talking about Skylanders memories, and while I don't have a clear favourite, I want to talk about one of my favourites that took place back in late 2012. It was near the release of Giants, and we were out in London visiting family. I was about 8 at this time, I think, and at this point Giants was like just coming out. I think it was either a day or two to release or a day or two after release. And there's a toy store in London called Hamleys, which is a brilliant place, and they had in the downstairs area, they had this massive like venue for Skylanders. There was this one guy as well walking around in like a full Eruptor costume. I still have the picture to that actually, which I will not be showing. But he was off the showing off like a kind of demo for Giants, featuring some of the Series 2 Skylanders that I got to play. And at the end, you even got to take one home with you. Between Whirlwind, Stump Smash, and Drill Sergeant, you were just straight up allowed to take one home, which is actually how I got my Drill Sergeant, my Series 2 Drill Sergeant, and that is also why Joel's is one of my absolute favourite Skylanders, because it just has such an amazing memory behind it. It's got its own story, and it's a memory I think back to quite often because it's just so cool to have been there. But that's going to do it for this. Thank you again, Ignite, for having me on the channel.
With that being said and done, this video is coming to an end, and I want to thank you all so much for watching. By merely clicking on this video, you've shown support and helped it garner recognition so it can reach many other viewers here on YouTube. I'd love to see you take the extra step and leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Also be sure to comment below and push that subscribe button whilst you're down there. By clicking elsewhere on screen, you can either check out a video that's specifically picked out for you, or you can check out the rest of the playlist for the series you just watched. Before ending off, I'd like to thank all of my Blazing Knights and Scorching Dragons whose support helped make these videos possible. I'll be seeing you in the next video, and until the moment arises, peace!